All right. FairWestWork Day, August 11th, 2025. Does this need to be a video? No. Is it going to be a video? I guess so. What's been going on away from Albuquerque for a bit, but still thinking, still working. Fair West Works neighborhood outreach walking workshop idea continues to take form. I got a couple of people who I'll be going out with. Paul, if you're watching, you know who you are. We're going to be walking the streets, talking a little bit, just trying to figure out how you're feeling initially. That's a big part of these walking workshops. What are you feeling as we're out there walking around? What do you want to experience? What are you currently not having? What are you currently having a hard time with? And can we talk about that? Can we interact with that? More specifically, got a neighbor emailing me from the Ortiz area. She was saying, I live near the Friary at Ortiz and Copper, uh, and I've noticed a increase in weird people hanging out and harassing me, and I think it's due in large part to the efforts that the Friars are doing on a weekly basis to give out food every Wednesday, and then the rest of the week they don't offer any services. I would need to have a longer conversation. I'm still waiting to hear back as to what else I can learn about this situation from neighbor Nikki. Uh, Hopefully, she reaches out and we can talk a little bit more. I don't think she's interacted with the Friars. Um, Maybe there's some useful conversation to be had there about a variety of things. It is tough. Some of the nature of the complaints I was hearing are that Nikki is feeling that people are coming up to her on her property and she's having really negative interactions that lead to her feeling unsafe to a pretty high degree. And she feels like she doesn't get support from the neighborhood association or the police or the social services that are in the area. And I think is pretty fed up. Um, Certainly not the first time I've heard that, and the question remains: what can you do from that state in this part of the neighborhood near Copper and Ortiz? I think it's fair to say that there is more um, strange activity on the streets to a certain degree. It's in many parts of the neighborhood. Um, it also depends on the interactions that you have, your understanding of what you're trying to get out of interactions. And so there could be some really interesting conversation and some experiments and some learning and connecting with neighbors, conversations, thinking about different pathways, how to handle situations. What are the things that you feel like you can change? What's the number one thing? How to talk about it, having a place to express it. And if it's angry, like, all right, I'm not going to chastise someone for being angry. Um, Sometimes easier said than done. Those are along the lines of what a walking workshop would be, specifically targeted to be walking around the neighborhood. I think I know best Fair West, the part of the town I know best, the neighborhoods around Fair West with service providers that I'm trying to get to know, the neighbors who I know, the business owners who I know, the renters, the people who live in the area but mm, maybe live in the streets, maybe just are in kind of like, you know, there's issues of poverty, there's issues of mental health, there's all sorts of issues. Super complicated. Um, a lot of emotions. If you're interested in that sort of thing, you want to talk about that, you want to talk about that as you walk the streets of Fair West, send me a message. Um, This is a workshop that I'm trying to put together. The idea being we'll have a theme. We go out, we walk, we've got an idea of what to do. We're going to go walk from one part of the neighborhood to another, make some stops along the way, talk about what we see, talk about what's working, talk about maybe what's not working, and then things that can be done about that. It's very action oriented and focused and hands on. Time duration can be flexible. My schedule is pretty flexible, pretty chaotic. So again, if any of that sounds appealing, reach out to me. If you're an organization in the area or you know an organization that we should check out, let me know. I know service providers like State of the Heart Recovery. Trying to get to know therapeutic living services. I know New Mexico Harm Reduction Collaborative. Not sure if they're still operating in our area, but there was a group called Best Chance that helped people who had recently been released from incarceration access resources. What else? Going into small businesses, hang out at Caps, go into Cafe Delat, go into the Sundowner. Need to find more reasons to go over to San Pedro. They have bars over there, so if you want to get a drink sometime, we can make that happen. Or just wander on through. Trying to make more connections with other community institutions. Azusa Church recently made some more contact with the pastor William down there. Could try and have some more. I'm looking to meet more people, share some information, learn some information, mix it all together, and do it while walking around the neighborhood. Yeah. What else? Moving on, more thoughts and conversation about the possible Cochiti safe outdoor space / shelter / community outreach project. Emailed the city trying to get them to send me a copy of the application that New Creation put in for their safe outdoor space, so I can cheat my way into seeing what their blueprints were. I think they're happy to share this information. Thinking about what budgets would look like, talking to the owner of the property that is a potential location. Going to have more conversations about pricing, leasing terms, expectations, all sorts of businessy kind of things. Looking for people to help me out with that. Whether it's kicking around ideas, talking about whether they have connections within some areas, whether it's churches, private organizations, individuals who would be interested in participating, whether with their efforts, their work, their sweat, or with a little bit of cold hard cash when it gets to the point where we have to start paying for things. And then also looking for more Fair West focused work. Cochiti is not really in Fair West. It's pretty darn close. So I feel like it falls under the FairWestWork umbrella. But that's why the walking workshops, I think I'm going to put a fair bit of effort into that. Getting people to walk around the neighborhood, parts of the neighborhood that maybe you don't see a lot of foot traffic in. We're not talking by the park. We're talking on the edges near the high-speed roads of Central, Loma, San Mateo, San Pedro. We're talking south of Copper, around Copper, parts of the area where there's more trash in the street and there's less reasons that people seem to find to walk around there. Well, let's go walk around. Let's think of some things. End of my pitch, but that's Fair West Work Day. All right.